Hey guys, it's Island Passage here, Frank, and I just wanted to say I had a talk with someone today on my dock, and it kind of upset me a bit, more so in the sense of the word maintenance that we talk about and come to about. Oh, we always got to worry about that monthly maintenance cost or that yearly maintenance cost, and I mean, how much is that? Is it expensive? Is it worth owning a boat? Is it worth doing this? Is it worth it? And the answer is depends. I mean, for me, I kind of bought a used old boat with some good bones behind it, and I was able to completely refit it right off the bat um, with my own knowledge and my own labor. So obviously, I saved a part of money on that. I do my own bottom cleans, I do my own paint, I do my own sanding. Um, I've installed everything. So I mean, oh my god, it's a mess. I don't know if you're gonna want to, but I mean, let's see. So put the floor in, fridges and stuff. In here, underneath the settee, is my battery panel. This here houses everything highly important: inverter, solar, buzz bars, charger, lithium batteries, more buzz bars, more stuff to go everywhere, more electrical. Just constantly redoing stuff, constantly, other things. This will be the only Catalina 27 you will ever see in your life. Oh my god, it's a mess. Can't even show after you guys this stuff. It'll get in trouble. I guess that's good enough. With like a full, like it's a full oven. It's 3 burners. They all work. Oh my god, I left this on. Oh, that's not good. That was not good at all. That's my mistake. I mean, nothing's perfect, but I mean, what do you expect? Like, it's constantly working on it. I've had so much problems with it. False floor I'm building. Literally gonna have a shower in there. There's my sump pump. Running electrical for that. There's just so many projects I'm constantly doing on this boat. And I've gotten most from working on other boats, and they were like, "Hey, I got all this extra scrap stuff. I got a bunch of extra wire I don't see myself needing. Did you want it?" And yeah, like for example, I also work part time at the charter bar, just one of the cooks. The legendary barge. It's so great. Keep the legend afloat. I love it. And well, my boss, I was doing some work for her, and she was like, "Hey, I got this thing here, and I don't even want it. I don't need it on this boat because I'm not using that for that purpose on this boat." And I asked her, I said, "Hey, well, you're just gonna throw it away? I mean, I'll take it off your hands or something, you know what I mean? But if you were gonna try to sell it, I'll buy it for some money or something. Or what were you thinking?" And she goes, "Just have it." Have you ever looked at the price on a Hilly Range 3 burner gimbal marine grade fucking oven stove? Excuse that, I'll have to edit that out. Like 4 grand to 7 grand. So, when it comes to maintenance and the price and stuff like that, yeah, like things are gonna not go right, things are gonna act weird. It just depends how much you're willing to risk. How much do you care about safety? How much are you willing to spend? How much are you willing to do yourself? And all those are great factors as far as understanding the maintenance part behind it. For myself, I put aside my paycheck about, let's say if we do it bi-weekly for everybody, I put away probably about, here, let me give you a financial breakdown. So let's just, for example, I get paid $1,000 every 2 weeks. Okay, $1,000. Well, I have to assume that I have other bills and stuff like that too. So right off the bat, we're gonna put $100 to $150 right away to savings for, like, you know, retirement or other stuff like that. So we don't have to worry about that. Then we have to focus on our priorities. We need to eat, we need a place to sleep, we need all this other stuff. But put those bills to the side. Then you will need to focus about your secondary needs and wants. What do you need and what do you want? What do you have to have and what you don't need? You know. So then once you figure that out, what you're working with left, you can put towards the boat. You know what I mean? Because it's not necessarily a priority. It doesn't have to get done this week, but it will get done. So it really just comes down to how serious you are, your mentality about it, and I guess money could play a bit of an issue into it. For myself, I was sitting on a couple money, sitting on some money, and so I kind of put some of it into this. But a fair share of it, I'd say, let's say if I bought this boat for 5 grand, I probably only put in 3 grand in one year, and with that 3 grand was just upgrades and new this, new that, new this, new that, better this, better that, upgrade this, because it's just going to go out in time, replace this, replace that, and little nitpicking kind of stuff, little wood, this and that. So I think I'm about between 3 and 4 grand, so almost $10,000 in total for the boat per se, right? Well, the only thing left that I can think about now is a paint job, which I'm going to do myself, and that's about $200 for everything, maybe 250 for the top side above the waterline. And then I guess the most expensive thing I have coming up this year is probably going to be the haul out. I'm going to have her pulled out. I'm going to have a survey done on her. On top of that, I'm also going to have bottom paint, new anti-fouling, new bottom paint. I think we're going with all black on the bottom. I think that for some reason that's what it was. We're going to change up the paint scheme and go all white with like a black stripe down the middle or something like that. I can't remember what my wife wanted, but it's something like that. So so maintenance just comes down to what you're willing to do to it. But since I'm not willing to do it for another rest of this year, what am I doing for the boat previously? Before that. So you add up, $100, $200 if you're married or whatever, and you guys, 100 times 12, 100, you know what I mean? Like, so it's $1,200. So when you do that and you times that by 2, that's $2,400. So it's enough. It's totally reasonable in my opinion. I think anybody can own a boat. I think anybody can work on a boat. I think anybody could have a dream on a boat, in my opinion. It just comes down to you specifically, you. How well and how much do you want to do this? For any dream, all the same. It's your determination and your goal, and you're not willing to settle for anything less than that. So, like, example projects that I have just laying around that I haven't got a chance to, and this is it. I have a couple of these through holes mounted to the stern of my boat, and I'm running okay, so this is my new bilge pump I just been doing work. It's kind of just out there and about there. Not the best hose, but it's hose. And it's not just any hose. It's like this rubber with a little bit of metal inside of it, so it's like slightly reinforced. It's actually for like a smaller version of a toilet system, but it still works really good because it's flexible, and it kinks, but it doesn't kink crazy because it still lets water flow because of the reinforced metal on it, right? Well, that I'm running as my new bilge pump. So I have a standard bilge runs into this little crevice down here that's half covered, half not. That's because you don't really step over here on this part, you're more over here. I figured, how often do I need to have this all fully covered? So, and it was just extra. It gets really thin here and it starts peeling. It looks ugly, so I liked it perfectly like that. And that was another easy job too, just to peel and stick 3M tape, clean it with some acetone, wipe it down, make sure it's nice and pretty, lay it down, But for the bilge pump, so I have 2 in here. Oh God, this is so nasty. I hate the bilge. Okay, so in the bilge pump, I have one right here. Now this right here has its own float switch. And then my second one, right? My second one is running off the float switch that's up there. So it's not as high as the other one. I mean, and so the one with the bilge is as low as it can get, right? But the one with the float switch is a little bit higher. And so that one's going to be called your out alarm, right? Your out bilge pump, or your high water alarm bilge pump. And so usually you want a stronger bilge pump for when the water does get that high. And it's good to have 2, so you have one that runs, like, for example, to like your DC panel, and one running to your battery. So you have one that's always on no matter what. And then if something happens and that one stops working, or you're taking on so much water that one's not putting out enough, then your secondary one, your higher one, kicks on and it just pumps. So I would always recommend that you have like one starting at, like, for me, I have like a 28-foot sailboat, 27, 28, roughly, almost 30 working on it. I don't know how you depend on LOA. But for me, I have one at 1100, which is my main, and then my next one, which I'm actually upgrading, is going to be somewhere between 23 and 2700 gallons per hour, because you also got to include run length and height and stuff like that, So there's little projects I have scooted around all over. I got to finish the bathroom. That's almost done. I lost the light to this bad boy. It really makes me so sad. It was so nice. It was a gift from my boss. She has like 400 of them, and this is just so cool. And it's a nice one too. It's Richie. Yeah. But anyway, So, on this boat here, it's a great challenge because it's a bunch of practice I'm getting to do on another boat that I'm going to have. Like, you'll see a lot of mistakes like this. They never got around to sanding this fiberglass down. It was a terrible job in here. That's all fiberglass. But in here, it's just silicone. Here, the gap, the angle was all done wrong. I went straight when this is at an angle, so I should have went actually more on an up angle. So you got this little, like, you know what I mean? But I mean, it's still fine. I mean, inside, there's not like water coming in or anything. It's all aesthetics, you know what I mean? So yeah, no one says this is the prettiest boat, but it has the most work into it. It's been completely revamped. All the electrical's been redone. The bathroom's been redone. The water lines have been redone. Oh, dude, this is a huge upgrade. Huge upgrade. I don't think my water's on. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. And then if you wanted to, you can get seawater, help wash the dishes, and then wash them down fresh so you don't get rust on them. You know, real TV, solar, sink. The cat's pajamas, dude. This boat is just wickedly off chain. There's so much other things going into there. That up there, literally, right there. It's a magnet bar, so cool. Just holds all my knives, other stuff like that. They never fall. It's super strong. Bose radios, dude. Bose, whatever you want to call it. And then this is my favorite part. I don't have a normal key. So instead of having a key to start my motor or something like that, or to turn on, this and that, instead, I just walk around with my fuel line. Can't start my boat unless you have the fuel line. But, so at the end of the day, as far as maintenance, it comes down to what you're wanting to do. This boat right here, this book, these two books right here, have probably gotten me so into sailing as you can possibly understand. Practical Sailor Library, PSL, fantastic, man. Fantastic book. Great pictures, things to do. This one right here, hands down, the best book in your life. The best. It has everything you can think about as far as wanting to work on your boat. Let's find a good one. I have one in here that I'm actually working on real soon. Hold on, it's right here somewhere. A built-in propane locker, improvements like, this right here allows air into the cockpit or allows air into the engine. You know what I mean? You need some way to let it out and in. And then on top of that, you got your little shore bell. Land ho. There's just so many things in here that you get to learn about. Like, look at this. Look at this. A low curved awning will keep rain from entering the companionway and help to keep the cabin cool. And you can learn to build stuff like this and do stuff like this. I have this one right here, but I've actually never got around to actually utilizing it properly. That would be something really interesting and cool. And it's rigged properly. These guys could probably actually still go sailing and it not be in the way. So that's a cool little idea on things like this, that you can do almost anything if you put your mind to it. Like, what is your options? Like, look, this right here is only, you could put a child in there and shower in that, and a full bath. I mean, this isn't a normal locker. That is designed only for that, So stuff like this has showed me a lot. Here, this is really cool. These are plank boards right here. This right here, you tie two fenders together with a piece of wood, and it just helps keep them stabilized and stuff like that. It helps protect your boat even more in case it does get uneven and the one wants to go up or down. It doesn't work that way. There's just so many things in books like this that I've been reading and learning and educating on. So at the end of the day, all I'm trying to say is it comes down to your determination, what you're willing to do, what you're wanting to do, and how hard you're willing to work for it. And that, at the end of the day, is going to show you that the maintenance isn't as high as it can be. But I mean, at the same time, if you have an inboard motor and you're not willing to work on yourself, or even if the parts are expensive, then that's just is what it is. You know what I mean? The sacrifices and for some things over other things. What's more of a priority now and can be held off till later, or how much am I willing to spend on safety so I'm safe out on the water? Am I willing to lose my investment? So just think of it like that. And honestly, it all comes down to it. Like, you don't have to go sailing this year, or you can, but maybe just motor around, take the boat out and just enjoy it. You don't have to go hard sailing. You don't have to do this. You don't have to go full motoring all the time. Just enjoy it. Hang out on it, enjoy it, work on it, drink some beer, and relax. Whatever you feel like you want to do, it's possible, just with a little bit of hard work. Anyways, I've been blabbing and yabbering along for too long now, so I'll talk to you guys later. You guys enjoy Island Passage.